Have you ever stopped to wonder, what if the things you're most afraid to say are the ones worth saying? The people who never fail are usually the people who never tried anything that mattered. Some years are for building loudly, and some years are for healing quietly, and both matter. Looking back, the hardest year of your life is probably also the one that taught you the most about who you are. Nobody is handing out medals for how exhausted you were while getting here. We were taught to chase a bigger paycheck before anyone taught us to chase a quieter mind. There's a difference between being behind and simply being on your own timeline. The home you grew up in shaped you, but it doesn't have to define every choice you make next. The loneliest feeling isn't being alone, it's being in a room full of people and still feeling unseen. Every brave thing you've ever done probably felt like a mistake right up until it didn't. Sometimes the most loving thing you can do for your family is to finally choose yourself. The version of you that set those old goals didn't know what you know now. Nobody puts financial freedom and peace of mind on the same shelf, but maybe they were never supposed to be separate goals. The setback that wrecked your plans might also be the thing that finally points you toward the right ones. You don't need to feel fearless, you just need to be willing to feel afraid and go anyway. You can be loved by a lot of people and still feel like nobody really knows you. Every closed door you're grieving right now might be clearing space for one you haven't even seen yet. Comparing your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 20 was never a fair fight. Every version of you that fell apart was also the version that learned how to rebuild. There's a version of success we were handed before we even knew what we wanted, and most of us have been running toward it without ever stopping to check if it's ours. We treat rest like something we have to earn, when really it's something we need to survive. You don't have to sprint through your 20s to prove you're not wasting them. A paycheck can cover the rent, but it can't cover the quiet feeling that something in your life is missing. There's no amount of overtime that buys back a missed dinner with the people who matter most. We treat failure like a verdict, when really it's just information, telling us something needs to change. Rest isn't the opposite of ambition. It's usually the thing that makes ambition sustainable. Courage rarely feels like confidence, most of the time it just feels like doing it scared anyway. Letting go of who you thought you'd become by now is its own kind of grief, and its own kind of freedom. Slowing down doesn't mean giving up, it means making sure you're running towards something that's actually yours. The version of you on the other side of that decision is waiting for you to stop overthinking it. Money solves the problems money can solve, and stays completely useless for the rest of them. Nobody tells you that the people who look like they have it all figured out are just better at hiding the doubt. What felt like the worst thing that ever happened to you might, one day, be the thing you're most grateful for. The thing you're most afraid to do is usually circling the thing you most need to do. The years that feel quiet and uneventful are often the years that are quietly building everything that comes next. You're not the same person who set that goal, so it's okay if the goal doesn't fit anymore either. It's strange how we can be surrounded by people and still feel like no one really sees us. Sit with that for a moment before you scroll away.